was 16 years old. I think she was born in 1923, so she was a very young woman during World War II, and she was born in Normandy, France. And she was born in a tiny hamlet of Normandy called Père-au-Haras. About 250 people. This little hamlet is, to this day, the home of Arras Dupin. It is considered the Versailles of horses. It was established by Louis XIV to breed horses. And they have shows there. Great horses are buried there, great race horses. And my mother's father was the veterinarian. He was a third generation veterinarian at Arras Dupin. And so he was an important guy in the town. And they lived in a very nice house. There was the veterinarian's house. To this day, that house is where the veterinarian lives. So when the Germans occupied the town, they said, we're moving in there. So my mother, my grandfather, tante, my mother's stepmother, whoever else, I guess Gaston, my uncle, they all had to move upstairs. And the Germans set up headquarters downstairs, and here's the thing. My mother was a Jew. See, my grandfather had married Adele, my mom's mother, when Adele was 16. She was a child bride. And I guess it went so wrong that they divorced, which wasn't that typical a thing. And Adele had become a refugee. She was in Marseille. It was safer there, undercover, and so my mother stayed with her father and pretended to be Catholic. So, I mean, I can just imagine my grandfather. As you can see, he's a formidable fellow. He's like six foot something, big man. And he liked to eat, and he liked to drink. And he also treated the domestic animals in the area. You know, he knew everything. He treated everybody's animals, 250 people. He'd go to somebody's house, he'd treat the animal, they would give him a big meal, and then, like with Havré Normand, he would take a shot of Calvados. It would burn a hole down his esophagus into his stomach so he could go to the next place and treat the animal, take care of the cat or the dog, and have another meal, and then Havré Normand, Calvados down. And he would work through his day this way, and often forget to give people the bill. My tante would open the glove compartment and find all of these rumpled papers, and, because money wasn't coming in. At any rate, I believe, as the story goes, my grandfather got rather drunk one day after the Germans took over the house. And I just imagine him, you see here my mother, that's my mother back there, looking to him out of the corner of her eye. I just get this protective feeling. She's behind him. He's protecting her. And my grandfather walked into the mayor's office. Of course, the mayor knew my grandfather. And he stood in front of the mayor's desk and he said, "You know, Marcel, my daughter is Jewish." And Marcel said, "I know." He says, "Not as far as anyone is concerned. She's Catholic. If anyone says anything about her being Jewish, I will kill you." And no one did. Now to this day, this little town has 250 people in it, and nobody routed her out. But who knew day to day what would happen? I can't imagine the anxiety, the trauma, every day waking up, not knowing whether you'd be found out. And I was just nervous preparing for this show. Oh my goodness. My mother took a few risks. People did. A few people did. One day she was in school and the teacher was taken away for being, working with the underground. And another instructor came over to my mother and gave her a piece of paper and said, go back to the village, give this to so-and-so, let them know the Germans are coming and rounding people up. And so they let her out the back of the schoolhouse. And she told me she was never so afraid in her life. Going back to the village with this note to give to someone. And over the last 5 days before liberation, when the war was ending, she was found out and was under house arrest with several other people in her house with the Germans downstairs. That had to be fun. Anyway, reprieve. The war ended.